Here we are at Clothesline, the show where we string them up, put them to dry and wring them clean. On the Clothesline. It's been a depressing week, so let's have a chuckle, a little bit of a laugh. With the rupee plummeting to a new low, 66 rupees to $1, or at least that's what it is while we are recording this. You never know what the rate of the dollar will be by the time we edit this and put it online. And no, that's not because we are too slow. We do our best. It's because the rupee is fast. Yes, I know you people with chachas and chachis in the US were looking forward to receiving 4 pieces of American clothing instead of just 2 when they came down to visit. But hey, we suddenly can't afford basic sabzi and other luxuries like onions, which is selling at 80 rupees a kilo, at least at the time we are recording this. By the time we edit and put it online, we don't know what the rate of onions may be. No, not because we are very slow, but because the onion is very fast. These special onions make you cry even before you cut them. We know the onions make Aam Aadmi cry joke has been done to death, but it's one of those that has to be mentioned at least once, like the Ram Mandir before an election, or being called pseudo-secular if you criticize that lame move, or mention Modi and have 2002 riots thrown on your face, and be called Sanghi supporter if you criticize that move. Back to the pyaz at 80 bucks a kilo. But no need to worry, dear viewer. As always, the political parties were at hand to solve all your problems. How? By setting up stalls to sell onions at a lower price. And since we all want to know how the onions felt about this, Aaj Tak was kind enough to tell us.
देश की राजनीति में जब सारी सब्जियां सामने खड़ी होंगी तो प्याज सर तान कर बोलेगा कि मैंने तो सत्ता भी बदली है और अब देखिए राजनीतिक पार्टियों का कामकाज भी बदल रहा हूं। अब दुकानें लग रही हैं, राजनीतिक प्याज की दुकानें लग रही हैं हमारे साथ हमारे।
ओ तो प्याज ये बोलेगा। अच्छा बच्चों, तो सुन लो कि कद्दू क्या बोलेगा।
Politics is everywhere. It's in your shirt, it's in your pants, it's everywhere.
और आलू क्या बोलेगा?
I think is 10 or 15% is 180, 190.
और कड़वा करेला क्या बोलेगा?
So bloody what?
Huh.
So bloody what?
Oof, enough. Is this a new satire show or a sabzi mandi?
Sabzi mandi.
Why did I ask? It was a rhetorical question. I need to hire some people. I hope you guys will help me with that, huh? Might soon need to ask you to chip in because someone's got to pay for free news. Meanwhile, it's the onion that's draining people's pockets. The day isn't far away when we see Onion, the luxury brand, opening its stores right beside Gucci and Armani. For now, though, the Onion branding is only reserved for our political parties.
अरविंद केजरीवाल साहब की पार्टी ने बकायदा उन थैलियों पर भी अपना प्रचार करना शुरू कर दिया है। हमारे साथ ये जो थैली है जिसमें प्याज बेच रही है आम आदमी पार्टी आज, उस थैली पर भी आप अरविंद केजरीवाल की पार्टी का नाम और उनका जो चुनाव चिन्ह है उसे साफ तौर पे देख सकते हैं।
But for us, the onion was always priceless. Check this.
This week, a report issued by experts at the Bureau of Economics confirmed the American economy is just one great speech away from a full recovery.
Until the prices come down, I guess we should just grab one of those bags full of piyaz in our hands and put our faith in the hands of God. And if even that doesn't work, then we can all turn to the God-man, Asaram. Oh. Okay, Sant Asaram Bapu, whatever. So Sant Asaram Bapu has recently been accused of raping a minor. What could be worse? That he isn't arrested. Is the accusation true? For that you need a tedious process called investigation. But his followers do not believe in that. So they've been given enough time on channels to present his defense. The usual conspiracy theories, jealous enemies, etc. And we all know that this is how investigations are conducted and judgments announced in India. Clean chits by prime ministers to his party members before even a charge sheet. Clean chits from sports federations to their own chairman without any investigation. So Asaram and his groupies figured, hum bhi yehi route use kar lete hain. Clean chit given by fans, and it seems to be working, since there's been no action against the godman, at least at the time we are recording this. But we don't think things would have moved much, unlike onion prices and the rupee against the dollar, and the wheels of justice here are slow. Meanwhile, we're guessing Asaram's PR team put out enough videos of his to win hearts and minds. So who is the most graceful? News Laundry presents Gujarat ke TV9 के सौजन्य से News Laundry version of झलक दिखला जा। vote for best Naggin dance, vote for your favorite Naggin and win Asaram book of Gharelu Nuske.
सोना डाल के दूध उबालते हुए दूध पीता हूँ आय मजबूत बाप
What? Did he say he adds gold in his milk? Let's say that again.
सोना डाल के दूध उबालते हुए दूध पीता हूँ आय मजबूत बाप
दाल में काला तो सुना था, लेकिन दूध में सोना? With prescriptions to revive your manhood coming from Asaram Bapu, we're assuming the once famous Ashok Clinic and Sablo Clinic are going out of business.
Asaram Bapu Satsang come for soul searching and renunciation which make life easy, and stay for doodh sona recipes which make it hard.
Dear God, dear Godman, dear newsman and dear news laundry.
दीपक तुम तो मिल चुके हो बापूजी से। दीपक तुमने पैर छुए थे, क्या सोच के बापूजी के पैर छुए थे ये बताओ। मैंने आंखों से देखा है, मेरे पास विजुअल है, मेरे पास शॉट है।
मैं चैलेंज करता हूँ कि अगर ऐसा कोई शॉट आप दिखा देंगे मैं पत्रकारिता छोड़ दूंगा।
So Deepak is accused of touching the Godman's feet. But Deepak, why are you getting so defensive about it? तो क्या हुआ नीलम जी? वक्त आने पे गधे को भी बाप बनाना पड़ता है, एंड रिपोर्टिंग में तो दिस हैपेंस ऑल द टाइम। इंटरव्यू के लिए पैर छू लिए, सो व्हाट्स द बिग डील? और क्या क्या नहीं करते लोग। एंड दीपक, रिलैक्स, you don't have to feel embarrassed if Neelam is accusing you of touching Asaram's feet. The channel you're part of is owned by Manu Sharma's brother, na? Isn't it? So, big deal. Why be embarrassed? The best thing about Godman is the simplicity of their reasoning. I'd like to present to you the simplest and most effective point I have ever seen made in a TV debate by Godman. Before I bring you that moment of clarity, introductions are in order. This is Jitendra Awadh of the NCP, who is an aggressive and formidable opponent in panel debates.
That's what I've told you. I will have to check upon it. But you cannot ask a question, why did he sign it in 4 days? That cannot be a question. I have just that is my authority and right. When, what time and where? Mr. Awad, we have a right. I have one question.
Citizens of this country. No, I will not. I will not. First you apologize.
You will listen to me what I have said.
You will have to listen to me what I am saying.
But in this Godman, Awadh meets his match.
See, a law is a regulation. It just tries to regulate. You cannot enforce. Now, here are people who criminalize everything. Now, we are talking of a killing which took place in here.
Let him please complete his point. Let him complete his point. Jitendra wants to complete his point.
Mr. XYZ, will you please keep quiet when I am answering? Do we interrupt when you are talking?
No, I will not if you talk nonsense. I will not if you talk nonsense.
Okay, how about that? Simple and effective. Arnab, please invite Yogi Ashwini ji to your studio. We want to see him go up against you. And dear Yogi Ashwini ji, if you can pull off miracles, this is one we'd like to see you pull off, and only then will we believe. But some people will believe anything, like Mr. Karan Thapar. In the previous Clothesline episode, we showed you Karan Thapar's program, The Last Word, where Karan, along with his guests, discussed how India should respond to Nawaz Sharif's statement offering friendship and love to India. But as we told you, the program was based on an old statement issued in May this year, before Nawaz Sharif became Prime Minister, and was made to Karan Thapar himself. To be fair to Karan, we contacted him to try and make sense of this. Why would he conduct a show based on an erroneous assumption?
Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is reported to have issued an emotional statement calling for a new beginning in relations between India and Pakistan, and saying the two countries should strive to become good friends. So tonight we ask, how should India respond to this statement?
Karan said reported statement 10 times in the show.
Reportedly had from Nawaz Sharif.
Now the question we had for Karan is this. Did he conduct this whole debate on India-Pakistan peace overtures based on a statement that was never made by Nawaz Sharif as Prime Minister? In fairness, during the debate, Karan did very fleetingly suggest the possibility of this being an old statement, but he quickly followed that by speculation, saying that this could show consistency of position.
The language the Pakistan Prime Minister has used in his reported statement of yesterday is very similar to what he used when he gave an interview to Devil's Advocate, to our sister program, in May. He said almost the same thing. Does that suggest a certain consistency in his approach and in his behavior and in his attitude to India?
Well, that doesn't really warn the viewer of the possibility that this entire discussion is based on an incorrect report. Karan clearly supported the idea that India should take up the reported offer of friendship. Not much wrong in that.
So in a nutshell, you interpret this as a very positive development. Do you think this is a very positive development?
Well, at least he's not pushing the ISI or jihadi point of view. The man wants peace between two countries. Nothing wrong with that. But the question remains, an Indian program pushing Nawaz Sharif's fake efforts for peace in order to get an affectionate response from India while appeasing the hardliners at home with an anti-Indian resolution in their National Assembly on the same day? Was this Nawaz Sharif's declaration of independence from the army and the ISI? If so, we should welcome it, I suppose.
Which incidentally was something that in his Friday statement, Nawaz Sharif emphasized that there is a need for the two countries to devise newer, better, stronger, both political and military mechanisms for handling the LOC. That is an offer he made. So you're saying we should take it up. Your Prime Minister has made a statement that is warm and emotional and passionate about resuming talks, about becoming good friends. He talks, in fact, about how he has a lot of love and affection for India. How easy or difficult in the present circumstances would it have been for Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to make such an emotional statement? He talked about the need for sane voices in India to reach out in response to the statement we've reportedly had from Nawaz Sharif. And as he says, there are voices in Pakistan that are going to make life difficult for Mr. Nawaz Sharif. He's battling them, but we need to help him. Would you agree with that? That we need to help those who are willing to make a good relationship with us?
Not so
I'm going to stop you there on the
present
need
government
of
has been so weak. It has been too eager to please the opposition. They've ceded ground domestically, and that's part of the problem.
The government needs to find a spine, and sane voices on both sides need to be able to reach out and support and help each other. And if all of that happens, and it's a big if, we might actually end up, as Mr. Nawaz Sharif says, good friends. Although that does sound like very much a tall order at the moment.
Just to be sure how Karan Thapar missed that the entire debate was based on a wrong assumption, we asked for the timeline. Karan responded to us with this timeline. He decided to change subjects of the last word at 3 p.m. when he said he became aware of Nawaz Sharif's alleged affectionate statement. He contacted Ashrat Jahangir Qazi, the former High Commissioner to India, and Salman Bashir, the present High Commissioner to India. And Karan said that Saeed Akbaruddin, Joint Secretary in External Affairs, also acknowledged the statement in his briefing. At 4:15, Tariq Azim gave an interview to CNN-IBN and said the new statement was a reflection of the Prime Minister's commitment to improve relations with India. At 8:15, Karan said he spoke to Salman Bashir at least 3 times, who confirmed that it was a new statement and repeated that the program should proceed on the assumption that this was the Prime Minister's position and a new statement was authentic. This was 15 minutes before they went on air. Then Karan claims, sometime around 9:15, 15 minutes after they went off air, Razol Laskar rang to say that APP had just put out a statement to say that they had made a mistake and had seen excerpt of this interview on some channel in Pakistan and assumed it was a new interview or a new statement by the Prime Minister. APP blamed the channel. Fine, all that is okay. But there is the niggling question of Razol Laskar's tweets. The APP had not just put out a statement. At 6:18 p.m., Razol had already tweeted it was taken from his interview in May. So Razol knew over 2 hours before Karan went on air that the statement was incorrect, and Karan claims he spoke to Razol around the same time. Why did he tell Karan one thing and tweet another? Almost an hour and a half before the program, Smita Sharma of IBN7, of the same group as Karan, was also tweeting and got a confirmation from Razol Laskar that it was an old statement. She got this at 7:05 p.m. So what do we have here? At 6:18 p.m., Razol had tweeted to the world and a colleague of Karan's that it was an old statement. But Karan said he got a call from Razol at 9:15. 15 minutes after the show was on air, when he confirmed it was a recycled statement from the May interview with Karan himself. 15 minutes after they went on air. Picture this. Razol watching The Last Word with all these experts pontificating about the finer points of a statement that wasn't even made that day. Rizal must have said, are they doing? I better tell Bowtie he's been had. Although he did it all for peace. Now, can Karan offer his services for other good causes, such as reducing the tax rate, reducing our electricity bills? How about the most important right now, reducing the price of onions? Wake up, Karan, and smell the onions. Now, dear viewers, we are here because of you. News Laundry will always respond to your criticism and critique, and we actually read your comments and suggestions. Some of you have commented that I don't make fun of Aaj Tak and Headlines Today because the group is run by my brother Arun Puri. So we have our own devil's duplicate who will extract the truth out of me. Okay, I'm ready.
Welcome to Devil's Duplicate. Is it or is it not true that when the last episode of Clothesline was uploaded, it was a day when you were in fact at the house of Arun Puri, carrying out a transaction where you gave him something and he gave you something in return?
Yes, but it was Rakhi.
Yes or no?
It happened to be Raksha.
Yes or no?
On a day when...
Yes or no? Party.
Yes!
Thank you. Aha. So it's settled. You admit that the last episode of Clothesline was uploaded on News Laundry on a day when you were in fact at the residence of Arun Puri carrying out a transaction, which is a mere coincidence that on that day the episode of Clothesline mocked NDTV, IBN, Times Now, but not Headlines Today.
What are you
Yes or no?
We cover...
Yes or no?
We look at...
Party. Yes or no?
Yes.
Or no? So it's settled. On the day Clothesline was uploaded on News Laundry, where NDTV, IBN and Times Now were mocked. Mocked, might I add. Mocked. But Headlines Today was not. You were at Arun Puri's residence making a deal. I'd resent not being taken seriously when I'm playing, in fact, the devil's advocate. You were making a deal where a transaction occurred. Is that not true?
Yes, it was true,
Yes
but it
or
was...
no? Yes or no?
It was Rakhi.
Yes or no?
It was Rakhi.
Yes or no?
And I...
Party. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes!
So it's settled, you've admitted it.
It was Rakhi. I got a lovely gift. I had tari wale aloo with puris.
So there was puri. Arun Puri was there.
A puri is
and
something...
he fed you lunch, an expensive lunch, might I add.
Yes.
So it's settled. You want to admit it? To the audience that you have actually admitted on my show, on the day of Rakhi, when brothers and sisters promised to protect each other, you were at your brother's house, who owns TV Today, that you carried out a transaction on a day when you didn't criticize the channel of the person who fed you lunch and gave you a gift. You want to admit it?
Do I have to? Why can't I give a press conference like other people we know and just abuse you?
Stop pointing at me! Stop pointing at me! You stop pointing at me!
Madhu, one more question.
Let's see if miracles work. Asaram Bapu, please make him disappear. Miracles work. Now to prove that beautiful gifts can't buy me, watch this. Their reporter, the lovely Preeti Chowdhury, she dresses like a real person, no saas bhi, kabhi bahu thi, makeup. Preeti held what Headlines Today calls a town hall debate, called Maximum City, Maximum Outrage. Good. Important subject after the recent events in Mumbai. But how can one even listen when one is so distracted by their set? First they have Prahlad Kakkar sitting in a white lungi or mundu and white kurta. Behind him is a poster put up that says, well, sorry, I can't read what it says because Prahlad Kakkar covers it. Just look at the shot.
The state has power over its own policemen and recruitment. Start there. Start with the police because they are representative of the state.
He looks like a godman with a halo around his head, and these days it's really dangerous to be mistaken for a godman. What does it take to figure out that the guests should have been placed between the posters instead of blocking them? Plastic, shiny posters that glisten with wrinkles and folds. What happened to the slickness of Headlines Today? And I complain about this set?
See?
They've made a black box out of cloth screens, and it is edited so cleverly that the name of the speaker is placed after she's left the screen on the crowd.
Chairperson and the members are at least a face to talk to. From my side, whatever I need.
And here we go again.
It takes me 35 minutes to reach home. But on the peak day of 11th day Visarjan, it takes me 3 minutes.
And again.
We should be given proper support, a proper investigation.
Hey, come on. It's not a mistake. This is a habit. The editor thinks it's the right thing to do.
See to it that tell the police that protection is very important and the maximum conviction, because this comes under gang rape. I explained her.
Enough. Can't bear it. Kamaka अच्छी वाली debate को सत्यानाश कर दिया. Phase 2 of the carpet bombing of ads about government's achievements funded by taxpayers' money has begun. And the one that you have certainly seen over and over again is this one, which is a really, really bad idea.
अब तेरी पेंशन सीधे तेरे अकाउंट में जाएगी, चेक कर ले.
पर पूरी की पूरी पेंशन है कि नहीं ये बता. बॉसी, मुझे याद है, उन्होंने कहा था एक बार.
क्योंकि आज अगर एक बड़ी चुनौती हमारे सामने है, वो रोजगारी की. सबसे पहले 100 रुपए आपके विकास के लिए रखते हैं, तो उसमें से खाली 15 रुपए आपके विकास के लिए असलियत में काम करते हैं.
मौसी, पता है मुझे, पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री राजीव गांधी जी जो चाहते थे वही आज हो रहा है.
मुझे एलपीजी का पैसा मिला.
मुझे स्कॉलरशिप का पैसा मिला.
डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट्स ट्रांसफर, यानी आपके हक का पूरा पैसा सीधे आपके हाथ में.
क्या आपने लिया अपने पैसे का हक?
Really? उन्होंने जो सपना देखा वो आज हो रहा है? All that is happening today is Rajiv's dream? Why blame him? How unfair is that? Here's the director's cut for the ad that never made it on air.
मुझे एलपीजी का पैसा मिला.
मुझे स्कॉलरशिप का पैसा मिला.
मुझे टेलीकॉम मिला.
मुझे CWG मिला.
मुझे रेलवेज मिला.
डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट्स ट्रांसफर.
The Lok Sabha sat well into the night on account of the food security bill, but the big news was that Sonia Ji was taken ill, and that's the picture that made the front pages. The news channels even stopped their teleshopping sales of how to get thin and how to sprout hair to actually bring you news on Monday night. News Laundry sends Sonia Gandhi good wishes to get well soon. Hey, we need you to make fun of, and please don't say Rahul hai na, because he makes it too easy. Thoda challenge hona chahiye na. Good to hear it wasn't serious. But meanwhile, the channels kept the cameras on who was visiting Sonia in the hospital. Not that they would be allowed to see her, but it was a starry chamcha line of politicians. The real story should have been who didn't go to see her. They're finished. कल्चर वल्चर ही ऐसी है ना.
छुर्रे बन कांटा बन ओ माई सन, सब कुछ बन किसी का चमचा नहीं बन. छुर्रे बन कांटा बन ओ माई सन, छुर्रे बन कांटा बन ओ माई सन, सब कुछ बन किसी का चमचा नहीं बन.
And before we close, there are these moments this week we must leave you with. Moment 1. While English channels and newspapers compared him to the monk in Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, if you're old-fashioned Bollywood fed desis, you'd say, "Arey," just like Amitabh Bachchan in Mahan. And if you're the current hipster type, young Indian, you'd say, "Arey," just like Piyush Mishra in Gangs of Wasipur. And at News Laundry, we'd say, "Just another day at Parliament House." Also, the second moment is this.
Sometimes I literally feel NDTV is governing this country, you know, with all the social movements that you all have made. I'd like to thank you for having such a responsible organization that's really shaping this country in a way that we all are proud of.
Oh, now it's fine. You know, up to now, we were still on the fence on NDTV being the #1 most concerned about the nation and social issues channel in India. But now that Zaid Khan has endorsed it, we're convinced.
Zaid? Who?
Just who you need an endorsement from what's his name? Okay, that settles it. Meanwhile, do follow our campaign Internet Inkalab and Media's PH Value. Share your thoughts and experiences on our Facebook page. That's a wrap for the week. If you have any moments from journalism that made you go, oh wow, or oh crap, write into us or tweet to us. We are the change. You are the change, for better or worse. Never do nothing. Stay connected, stay online.